All right, we're finally there. We're finally ready to prepare for the interview. We've done all sorts of work in this class, perfecting our resume, writing cover letters, gathering references. All of that work was in order to prepare us to be invited to the job interview and then to nail that interview and get the job. So what do we do next before we walk into the building for our interview? Well, first of all, you're expected to research the company, know the company enough so that you can speak knowledgeably about them, that you understand that you are a good fit for their organization. So, and in today's world, this is so easy. We can Google them, we can look up their Facebook page, understand the basic structure of the company, their goals, their mission, their vision. In addition, make sure you fully understand the job that you're applying for. Go back, reread the posting. Make sure that you understand how you fit their job requirements and what they're looking for. Look for any unique skills that they may have highlighted that you can bring to the table. Have all of that ready before you even walk in the building. We've already begun the process of creating our portfolios electronically. You may want to print some of those documents and put them together in an organized fashion, like a binder or even just one of those small portfolio cases you can purchase at a place like Office Depot or Staples.com. If you're going to do the printed version of your portfolio, make sure that it looks 100% professional. And the reason you might consider bringing a printed version of your portfolio is so that you can speak to it during the interview. If they want you to talk more fully about your Excel skills, you can print off your Excel examples and bring them with you so that you can talk about your knowledge and abilities, things like that. Other people bring a printed copy of their portfolio. To be honest with you, they bring it as a security blanket so that they don't forget to say something or that they remember to speak about all of their skills, all of their knowledge, all of their career experience. And our interview time is very limited. Sometimes during the interview, we don't get to say all of the things that we want to say. And so we can print off things and have them in a printed portfolio to leave with the interviewer so that they can fully understand what we have to bring to the table. Okay, you have to be aware of your wardrobe. On this slide, we talk about recommendations for women. On the next slide, we'll talk about recommendations for men. And just very basically, you want to dress in a professional manner, and you want to dress one step above the position that you're applying for. So sometimes people will interview for positions in an organization where they already work. And sometimes workplaces have a business casual atmosphere, and that's fine. But for the interview, you want to dress more professionally than how you would just at the job itself. Be ready to knock their socks off. Here's the recommendations that we have for men. Again, you're just trying to convey a professional style, and I'll advance to the next slide. You're trying to convey professionalism at one step above than the job you're applying for. Okay, in addition to preparing your portfolio and your wardrobe, you also want to be ready with your answers because interviews come with very common interview questions. So do some Google searching out there. Look up a phrase such as common interview questions. Typically, we'll always get something like, tell me a little bit about yourself. And what you want to have, you don't want to have a speech rehearsed ahead of time. You just want to make sure that you know the points you want to cover. So practice them a little bit so that you know what you're going to say before you walk in. Again, the reason we do this is because time is very tight and you want to be able to convey your best qualities about yourself. That's a part of some of the reasons behind the assignments that we have in this class. We've already had you talk about situations where you took action and got a result. So just read your star stories before you go in. Those star stories are a perfect way to convey information about yourself. For example, let me advance to the next one, where the interviewer asks the question, tell me about yourself, or asks you to tell a little bit more about yourself. You can use a star story for that, for giving that answer, because a star story will convey how you react to situations at work, how you are able to produce results in a workplace environment. In addition, the next question tell me about your greatest strengths, again, you can use a star story to convey that. If the star stories you have prepared for our class aren't appropriate to answer these specific questions, you might think about developing a short little story to answer this question on its own, because it's very common that an interviewer will somehow, they might not ask this exact question, tell me about your strengths, but they'll get to this point. And of course, when they ask about the strengths, they'll ask about your weaknesses as well. And don't fall into the trap. You don't want to just tell them, well, I'm disorganized and I'm always late for everything. Don't just tell them your weaknesses. Everybody has weaknesses. It's okay. They're trying to get you to be honest. It's okay to convey your weaknesses, but then make sure that you frame it in the right light. For example, one of my weaknesses is that I'm not very proficient on the Adobe software. So I might mention that, but then I might follow it up with, well, I've already registered to take a summer class to learn more about Adobe Photoshop or Adobe InDesign, something like that. So you can be honest about your weaknesses, but make sure that you frame it in a way that helps them understand that you're willing to do something about that. Okay, lots of times we get asked about our goals. They want to see how we fit into the bigger picture of the company. So again, be honest about what your goals are, but make sure that you frame it in a sense that conveys that you're a good fit for this company. If you're currently achieving your associate's degree in accounting, and you plan to continue on to get your bachelor's degree in accounting, that's great. You should say that. It shows that you're diligent and responsible and that you have a long-term career picture, but make sure that that fits within their company's goals for you as well. Okay, if you are asked to talk about a situation where you faced a problem, you always want to make sure you're ready to answer that question with the solution that you provided. So sometimes we can't always give the solution to a problem at work. Sometimes what we have to do is find someone else who can then provide that solution. But that's okay. You can still state that. The beauty of that is that you knew who to contact, or that you were willing to go that extra mile to find the person who can solve the problem. So be honest about the problems that you faced, but always focus it on the solution that you were able to offer in that situation. And again, don't be afraid to use your star story. Okay, last but not least, the interviewer might ask, why should I hire you? Be ready to set yourself apart from other candidates. Remember to emphasize the skills, knowledge, and abilities that you have to bring to the company. Be passionate about why you're a good fit for this company. And above all, have a well-prepared answer.